Well, hello, and welcome back to the return of the Obra Dinn here on Buto Plays Whatever. In our previous episode, we're making more headway. We're down to the final 12 people. The final 12 people. Oh my god, 48 down, 12 to go. But, as we know from certain things, Mr. Martin Perot will not... We won't actually know what his fate is until a little bit later, which is he is right there. And we can not discern his death just yet for some reason, which is kind of odd to me. So I imagine it has to do with chapter 7. So we'll just kind of, I guess we'll have to wait on it, or else we just didn't see it. I mean, if we take a look at Mr. Perot and his memories depicted, yeah, first memory, it doesn't show his last memory, which is kind of weird. So we got 11 other people we got to solve, and that's just the way it is. Now this guy, I believe, died in the Soldiers of the Sea part 2. So we need to, we're gonna have to go back and just kind of see this out. This guy he fell overboard, but that was when he kind of just disappeared in the Doom, in that one little section when the cannon blasted. This guy was spiked by a terrible beast. Unholy Captives part 1. So 11 nameless people. Mr. Philip Dahl, I don't believe, it doesn't give us his ending either, and he was the ship's guy, the ship's steward who got captured and then thrown into the brig. So we have 2 people that we can't do anything with, but at least we know who they are, right? And that's positive, I'd like to think. But we need to... Now what's going on with Mr. Peters? Mr. Peters disappeared during the Doom. Doesn't exactly say when he disappeared, so we'll have to kind of piece that together. But what I do want to do is go back to one particular location where those 3 Russian gentlemen were all playing cards to see if we can't identify the last Russian man, which should have been down over here, and it was during the sickness. I don't remember exactly which one, but at least we're near the Soldiers of the Sea. And I don't remember if it was this first one or the second one. I think... I want to say it's during this first one right here. Yeah, stop your cheating. Yeah, I just wanted to see who was playing cards over here. Mr. Nishkin. Officer fell overboard. Yep. Well, we know who you are, buddy. You can't be playing cards with Russians unless you're Russian. And there's only one Russian less, Mr. Toporov. So, and who is Mr. Toporov? He was just a seaman. So he's the last Russian gentleman left. And if he's playing cards with the Russians, then that's just the way it is. Now he died. He fell to his death. The Calling. Now, he might have been drowned because he was just straight pulled overboard. So he might have drowned. It's a tough call. He was plucked from the boat, if we remember correctly, into the water, and we don't know exactly if he was drowned, if he was gouged. We'll have to go back and take a look at that. But at least we know who he is. With that being said, not many people remain. In fact, there's only 9 other people that we kind of do something about. Now, the ship's steward disappeared in the escape, and that's something I do want to check on out, because my thought is a lot of these people got on that boat with the doctor and the 2 girls, and so they might have all made their way to other various places. Now, I'm assuming that's the ship's steward, which I could be wrong about, but I feel like he was like a navigator in it. And so if we go to the escape, which, let me get my memory on track here. There's, how many parts to the escape? Give me a cue. The escape. So during the escape, how many people do we not know anything about? Now, what did that say over there? So 1, 2, 3, 4 people didn't die. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people did die. I'm assuming this means that they didn't die. Tough to call. But we know about him. We know about him. We know about Mr. Waiter, Mr. Davies, Mr. Lanky. So what happened to her? What happened to her? And what happened to this man? Now, if they're all living in Africa, I'm assuming that this guy's alive and also possibly living in Africa. But then again, he might have jumped off somewhere else, but I believe he's navigating the boat because he was a part of the top crew on up there. So it's up in the air, but we need to go with the calling, which was right there. Give me a cue, and then give me the ship, and then the calling, or the escape. The doom, the end, the end, the end. Escape part 3. Escape part 2. Now, how many parts of the escape were there? I believe there was 5. 2, 3, 4, and 5. 6. Yeah, that happened below deck. So where did this take place on that? Let's go with the last part. So we got to go up a floor. Where are we at? Where are we at? Oh, we're right there? Okay, so we just got to turn around. Walk on over here. So, let's see if we can't see anything on it. Like, I'm assuming he got on the boat. Right? Was this the one? No, it's the one next door. Yep, trail of blood. So let's see what we can see.
Oh no!
Yeah, we know all about this. But what we don't know was going on upstairs, and you're blocking my path.
I'll stay with you.
You're son of a bitch, dude.
Pete's mother,
I can't.
tried my best.
How can I see? What's going on? Can I see through the windows?
You tell her yourself. Brennan! Bring the surgeon's kit!
Brandon. So, we'll have to go back one more part. And this was the escape part 5. So let's go to the escape part 5. Let's see if we can get top deck. Yep, the clubbing. This is still blocking me. Mr. Hoscott. Okay. Escape part 4. Yeah, this is... Hopefully we can see something. Can happen, cannot be trusted. Okay, we can make our way up here. So the captain's just kind of letting him do his thing. He was clubbed. He's throwing Mr. Oleski off board. And they've already escaped. Mr. WITTEREL is his head over heels. So am I able to see them? No, they've already gone down. So yeah, those guys all left during the escape. Right? There's nobody hiding around here or anything. So we know who he is. He was killed by Mr. Dahl. I mean, he was killed in a way, but he was also wasn't decapitated. I mean, he was not struck. He was kind of torn apart right? I mean, is struck? No. It wasn't suicide. Shot, poisoned. I mean, he was killed with a sword. I mean, the dude cut off his leg. I mean, do you put expired? No, it's not expired. Yeah, it can't be expired. Clubbed, crushed, decapitated, drowned. No, kill with sword by Mr. Dahl, the captain's mate. Mr. Dahl. The captain's steward. Okay. So we're just not quite right on some of these things. But then again, maybe this is the gentleman. I mean, it's not... I mean, this guy left. So maybe he's not Zungi Southie. I mean, who's he standing next to? That might help us a little bit. I mean, he's standing next to Mr. Jonathan Davies, so I'm assuming he's the mate. But he's not, his clothing is not up to par with the stewards. Really. And like I said, he may or may not be in there. He's definitely not a topman. So, I mean, he's not the captain's steward. We pegged him as the ship's steward. But he might be Davy James for all I freaking know. It's a tough call. I mean, okay, cool. So we had it just kind of backwards. So who do I got? Mr. Davy James. He's alive in Africa with everybody. Alex Toporov and Nicholas Botterill. Nice. Okay. So Nicholas Botterill. Where is Davy James and Alexei Toporov? Nice. Okay, so with of course those deductions. Give me that crew. We now know who this guy was. He was the ship's steward, who was spiked by a terrible beast. Which leaves the purser, who disappeared in the Doom. We saw him in his cabin. Now, one of the things we haven't gotten to was poison, and I kind of need to take a look at that again to see what he was doing in his room. I want to see if he committed suicide, honestly. Like, I've been thinking about that for a little bit. So who do we have left over here we haven't done anything with? We got you. We don't know if that's you or not. This guy was spiked by a terrible beast. We don't know what happened to him. But everybody else is... Except for these guys. I mean, that was 3 more, so we're down to 9. 2 of them we can't do, so there's 7 guys remaining. Including Mr. Peters, who disappeared in the Doom. A lot of crap happened in the Doom, and it's time we go back down that road. The Doom was integral to a lot of people's disappearances and freaking just all around insanity. So let's head on back. Let's get out of here. Let's go into the Doom. And let's recreate the Doom, man. We gotta pit a lot of these things, because it's looking like everything that's left happened in the Doom. I mean, this guy, the Doom. This guy, Unholy Captives Part 1. So we know the third mate. We've been assuming the purser, right? Who... Where is the guy I slapped on with the purser? Where is the guy that I slapped the purser with? This is Mr. McKay, who disappeared in the Doom. Fell overboard, presumably. So, a lot of the guys... Mr. Peters, of course, in the Doom. Okay. Where's the Doom Part 1? That's not what I meant. We need the Doom Part 1. Part 3. We should do Unholy Captives Part 1, which I believe was part... Well, there's Doom Part 1. The Doom Part 6. Well, the calling... Where is... Where's Unholy Captives Part 1? Where's Part 2? This guy disappeared in the Doom. Ah, darn it. The Doom. Unholy Captives Part 1. Okay. And that was right over here? There's one deck below. Part 2. No, 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 no! Part 2. So this was Part 1. So we gotta go topside. And it was this guy right here.
What the hell is going on? What do you know about these things? About the chest and your dead friends?
这是虾米？我回来，全部讲出来。
拢是恁害啦！迄个害得较对人无顾好，啥人本事的啊！
He talk about the shell.
Well, the guy talking sounds
Shell? What shell?
he's speaking Chinese, man. I mean, well, crap. What is Sierra Leone? What distinction is that? Sierra Leone. West Africa. Okay. Well, that kind of rules that on out. Well, I mean, then again, I mean, this guy... does have more of a... look to him. Okay, let's just go back here. So he was... yeah, that is spiked by a terrible beast. Most definitely. Oh, this is the guy that was speaking to him. Okay, okay. I catch you now. So, yeah, we've determined that these are spiked by a terrible beast. We don't know who he is. We just know that he's a part of this crew. I mean, he could be any one of these guys. He could be George Shirley for all the hell I know. Maybe Alexander Booth. Mr. Jonathan Naples. I don't know. But for presuming he's from West Africa. I mean, but then again, this guy's white as can be. I mean, it's a tough call. So he's spiked by terribly. We're presuming this guy fell overboard. We're presuming also this guy fell overboard as well. He disappeared in the Doom. This guy might have fell overboard because the cannon shot him, but then again, he might have been crushed by the beast, because that's what happened a lot. These guys were just straight crushed by the beast. We saw the tendrils around him. I mean, and then he just disappeared. So we could go crushed by the beast on him. And then just kind of slap on none of these guys. We know who these two dudes are. We know who the ship's steward is. We know who the captain's steward is. So it's just between these other guys. So, I mean, George Shirley, Jonathan Naples. He just disappeared in the Doom. Okay, we need to recreate the Doom. I'm already kind of wagering on here a little bit too long. Let's see what we can see in the Doom. Because I know that 3 guys just straight kind of vanished in that one part. Give me the Doom. Give me a Q. Give me the Doom. That's not what I meant. So this is the Doom part 1. Okay. Which is right here. Let's see what we can see.
Let me on. Over my dead body, you bloody Dane. Huh? How's that?
There's no cause for trouble, boys. Get in the boat.
Yeah.
Thought I'd forget.
Mr. Peters.
You killed my brother. What? That was an accident.
So who was... Duncan McKay was also on this little boat.
Lies.
So Duncan McKay... Were these the 3 guys that got on that boat? Give me to the Doom part 2. ASAP. Where's part 2? Way down in there. So we gotta go on the second deck. So the purser was amongst them. Interesting. Yeah, this guy he was farting and wheezing. Freaking got strangled by the beast. Get me upstairs. So Mr. Gould was overwatching. Mr. Davy James. So those 3 guys got onto that boat. And they're the ones that flipped it on over. Does this lead me to part 3? This is part 1, right? This doesn't lead me to part 3. And it leads me back to part 1. Okay. And then what's going on down over here? Mr. Wheelie. Mr. George Shirley. Okay. Okay, get me out of here. So George Shirley was down below. Interesting. Okay, so those are the 3 guys that were on that boat. Where's part 3? Back up top. Or, no. It's just down over here. This is part 3? Nope. 1, 2, 3. Okay. See these tendrils? Just poking and prodding, man. Now, can we go up top? Is this a thing? No, it's not a thing. But it's like this guy just straight disappeared. So either he was shot by the cannon, Or he just flew on out. Get me out of here. Where's my exit? I need an exit stage right. There we go. Since I can't go upstairs. And you were the Doom. No, I need the Doom part 4. Now what does it say? Yeah, Mr. Wolf just exploded. Can we go upstairs? No. Can I see outside at all? I can't. I mean, he might have just been shot by a freaking cannon. Is this part 5? No, that goes back in time. Okay, so we need to get out of here. Let's go to part 5. We just say pushed overboard, but I mean, part 5 is the gun deck right there. So turn on around. You're part 5. So this is the aftermath. After that guy exploded. Now can we see anything out here? Not really. Just a bunch of blood. The man's top hat. I'd love to be able to see outside. Okay, can we get outside? I don't think so. Yeah, maybe. Nope. Not quite. Kind of a bummer. So we gotta go to part 6. So that guy might have just... I can't say he exploded because the body wasn't found. Is it what killed him? Possibly. Possibly. And give me part 6. Up top with the explosion. Explosions. So where is that boat that got overturned? Is that not here yet? No. Can we see anybody? Not really. Not on this side anyway. Can we see anybody over here? No. What about over yonder? No, just this tentacle. Not on this side. No, can't quite. Just can't quite see anything. Which is kind of crappy. Okay. So that's part 6. The Doom was such a horrible thing. Part 7 is on the opposite side over here. With this gentleman. Yeah, all hell's breaking loose. There's those 3 guys, man. They all definitely fell overboard. So, I'm assuming Mr. Nathan Peters, he fell overboard, dude. He fell overboard. And this guy also fell overboard. Is my thought process. Boy, I can't wait to get to that. Now, with that being said, who do we have him slap down? It's Obra Dinn. He might be Mr. George Shirley. No. Alexander Booth. There we go, baby. That's how you do it. Alexander Booth, Mr. Duncan McKay, and Mr. Nathan Peters. Alexander Booth. That's what I'm talking about, baby! Yeah, boy! Alright, so we're down to the precious, what, 6? 6 guys left? Give me a cue. And give me the crew. We're 30 minutes on in. Okay, so we know who you are. We don't know what happened to this guy. So we're going to have to pin the same fate as shot by a cannon by Mr. Akbar. Shot cannon by Mr. Akbar. I mean, they're both there. We just didn't find the body. I mean, it happened. It happened. We all saw it. So where is Mr. Akbar at? Mr. Akbar. Okay. This guy was spiked by a beast. And who else is left? Who's the last gentle person we don't know about? Was it him? He was spiked by a terrible beast. We're assuming he's the ship's steward. We know who the captain's steward is. So, I mean, I've been slapping that on this guy. There we go, baby. 2 more fates? I just slapped 3 on there, man. Mr. Obra Dinn. Mr. George Shirley. So, why did it give me 2? Who's left on the crew? We don't know what happened to Mr. Perot. Yet. So, are you just telling me that it's these 3? Mr. Jonathan Naples. I'm about to say there should be. So Mr. Jonathan Naples. The Captain Stewart we can't do. We don't know. Mr. Zunki Sathi was spiked. And we don't know what happened to Mr. Perot. We can't do Philip Dahl. We can't do Philip Perot. I mean, he was definitely spiked. And it can only be by a terrible beast. Right? Isn't that what happened? Soldiers of the Sea Part 7? I don't know. We're gonna have to take a look at that. But that's all the time I got for today, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, go ahead, leave a like, comment on down below, subscribe when we come on back. Part 7, and it looks like it probably will be the finale of this amazing game. Absolutely amazing game. So yeah, man. Possibly the finale tomorrow. Been a hell of a ride. So we'll check that on out. But until then, you guys take it easy. And I'll see you around. Peace.